David Samuels, aka Diz, and this is The Force Always.
Okay, so welcome to the show. This is The Force Always. It has been quite an adventure the last couple of weeks. I've got to apologise about my absence due to some technical issues with the camera operation and the programming that I use to bring The Force Always. I've had to sort of deal with some issues. It's almost completely fixed, but it's a little bit to go. But I'm able to do this, so that's partly why I've been away. Also, so because of some, personal doctoral things. Don't worry, nothing's wrong. Just sort of going through some procedures, and that sort of caused some delay in my bringing this. And also something that's interesting. I can't give you a whole lot of information on this. Besides that, yours truly. The reason why I'm wearing this hat is because you will see me in this hat, not the Jedi bedroom robe that I've got on. But this hat will appear in a upcoming movie that will be streamed. But very, it's sort of like a, quite, epic type of special effects film. And so I'm just an extra, don't worry, I'm not like a main actor or anything like that. No lines. But you will see me. I can't give you much details about that. Obviously, sort of signing agreements not to disclose. But it will come out sometime next year. But you will recognize me with this hat. It's a whole lot of fun. So that, along with my regular life, working life and personal life, the last couple of weeks has been a little bit hard to upload a video. I did go ahead and try and upload a video of last week, but because of the computer, programming and camera issues that I had to get, almost completely rectified, that's the reason why it's been quite a delay. But anyway, let's get on with the Star Wars news. Star Wars news this week is not a whole lot. Look, we saw some Obi-Wan Kenobi, photos that were leaked online. That's one part. But the other one was The Bad Batch, which is coming out on May the 4th. Can you believe it? May the 4th be with you on Disney Plus, the streaming service. The Bad Batch, it's an animation series. It's sort of, a group of elite stormtrooper soldiers that sort of a bit rebellious to the whole Empire rebellion type thing. Probably more for the rebels, but let's just have a look. That's in the story aspect of things here. And that's coming out May the 4th. A poster has been revealed, and a character poster of Hunter. So that's pretty much, leading up to the debut episode, May the 4th, Disney Plus, streaming. It's an animation of Star Wars, set somewhere between Revenge of the Sith and New Hope, somewhere in between there. But basically it's to deal with these rebellious elite stormtrooper soldiers. We've had some story likeness of these guys. If you did watch the extra Clone Wars episodes, you would have seen them in there. That's the animation series as well. Anyway, so that's pretty much the news for this time around. Let's get into the views. The views this time around, it's always about my story ideas that I could input for Star Wars of any sort. But I was thinking, and I sort of, again, I've touched on this before, but maybe sort of make it a little bit more relevant. Especially we've had Marvel finish their season 1 of The Falcon and Winter Soldier, which is also on Disney Plus. And especially in this last episode, but during the whole series, there was a sort of a racial sort of element to the storytelling about this Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And I think it's always been a really good idea to have a story worked around racial equality within Star Wars. Now, the difference between racial equality as we know it here on planet Earth and with Star Wars is that Star Wars is more planetary, and cultures within the planets. It's not like we don't have an Australia, we don't have an America, we don't have a Africa, we don't have a Zimbabwe, we don't have a Malta, we don't have Italy, we don't have France, we don't have, Papua New Guinea, we don't have Bali, things like this. So it needs to be about the racial equality within the cultures and the planetary systems within Star Wars as a racial equality undertoning sort of film. I just find it would be interesting to see what would happen. It gives strength to a lot of stories, because I find a lot of racial equality type of movies and stories, as unfortunate as they are, especially for the ones that are, way disadvantaged, it does give an emotional, interesting story idea to, life itself. And I think I would love to see that. Look, I don't have any exact specific story in mind. I could quite easily come up with one, no problem. But I think personally, it would be a great story idea. Having a racial aspect to Star Wars in a movie, especially one of the epic ones that come out on the big screen, if not within a series that's coming out on Disney Plus, that would be great. So that's really my basic story idea for this week for The Force Awakens. Let's now get into reviews. Reviews is something that I would have done last week, but I just had to hold it off to now because of all the things I told you at the start of the show. Basically, it's the review for this season and the last episode of The Falcon and Winter Soldier. Why am I doing this on a Star Wars show? Well, again, it's under the same banner of Disney. It is sort of good versus bad. I'll just give you a quick review on this. I don't want to spend too much time on it as it's a Star Wars show. But look, I gave the particular last episode I'd say a 9 out of 10. It was just, the action, the emotion, even the slow-paced scenes, the dialogue, the what was being said was just great. Really, really strong stuff, very mature type stuff. This is the type of thing that will really have storytelling for the future hold up stronger, because it's coming from an adult perspective rather than too kid-like. And I just think, visually, even the effects in this were seamless. Not like I'm one to sort of think, well, rate a film on effects, but when you have the effects that are seamless in a particular movie or series, it's great because you don't think about the effects. But it was just very, very good, and I just loved, especially the acting. I don't know his name. The Falcon. He was just really, really good. I wouldn't say the strongest performance, but I've ever seen. But it was still it held really well, and the meaning of the story that they had was really good. And I do apologize. There is some spoilers involved in this. If you don't want to know about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but so his political aspects were, being told through the story was very good and delivered well on his behalf. I thought the whole ending of the episode just ended well. It had an emotional sort of subtle sort of relief, but it also gave a little bit of insight to the possible future of Series 2 and even Marvel itself. It was just really, really good. Anyway, so but the whole series as a whole, season 1 of The Falcon Winter Soldier, 9 out of 10. This was before, during, and after exactly how it should have been said and told, and it was just great to watch. It was fantastic. I loved it, every minute of it. I suppose the difference between this and, say, WandaVision, I did enjoy WandaVision. I liked the whole storytelling, but personally, the first 3 episodes were a bit hard to watch, as they're deliberately a setup. I understand that whole thing. It just, it's a little bit, I don't know. It just was un-Marvel-like from what I could tell. But in a way, it was still good. It was still part of it. You need to watch those to watch the whole season and appreciate the whole season. But I do think that the Falcon and Winter Soldier and even WandaVision has held stronger, can you believe it, than The Mandalorian. Mandalorian is, to me, good, but it's one episode. It's not. There's a little bit of connectivity there, but not too much. But it's a way of telling the story. That's okay. I just thought it was it was very good. I wouldn't say great. Obviously, towards the end of season 2 of The Mandalorian, it started to really excel. And especially season 2, besides the first episode, maybe. But going back to the Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I even like how they sort of really brought in what the title of season 2 is. Now, this is a big spoiler if you haven't seen it. I assume it's going to be and is Captain America and the Winter Soldier. So, which I thought that was a great sort of, a refreshing idea for storytelling for the series 2. I think that's fantastic. It may not be called series 2. It could be just a brand new series called Captain America and the Winter Soldier, being separate to the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We don't know yet, but it has also introduced the ideals that they're going to release a Captain America 4 with the original Captain America actor in it. Again, his name escapes my mind, as it usually does. If you told me who Luke Skywalker is, Mark Hamill, but some of these other actors, I know who he is, but I don't know his exact name. But let's not get into that. But anyway, so the series generally was a 9 out of 10. The series 1 of the Falcon and Winter Soldier. Let's look forward to the next season. Anyway, so that's the review for this time around. Let's get into interviews. So the interviews again is going to be based on my goodness, interviews. The first question I have is, what can Star Wars learn from the series 1 of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier? I have to think about that because it's changing names. Is again, the adult perspective of storytelling is what will hold the story long term and more appreciative, even to the younger, because they'll look up to the adult way of seeing and telling things, and it will just carry the story further. To create it to be, a bit kid-like, really gives it a shorter term sort of feel, I think, in really rewatching that, really recaptivating that every time you watch it. I think the adult perspective of storytelling is something that will hold stronger. And again, like when we all saw A New Hope or Star Wars or whatever, whenever you saw it for the first time, because when it officially came out the first time, it was just called Star Wars for a short time. Then it called itself A New Hope. It really did have an adult way of sort of telling a story, even though back in the 70s it was like such a weird kid-like sort of feel. It just came off really, really slick and mature, and I think that's what Star Wars can learn the most, is keep everything sort of that of a mature level, but thinking about how kids would perceive things is obviously important. But that's what Star Wars can learn from the Falcon and Winter Soldier. So my second question now, what can Star Wars not learn from the whole the Falcon and the Winter Soldier? I think the action sequences that are obviously Earth-based. Star Wars has got to not enter the Earth system if it's an actual system in Star Wars. It would be sort of interesting for a moment. It would be fun to see how they sort of perceive Earth. But I think once you introduce Earth into Star Wars as a real place of the Star Wars universe, I think it really sort of changes the feel of Star Wars in a bigger way than we think. I'm not against it, but I'm just not for it. I just would like to have Earth not be a part of the Star Wars universe. And obviously, this series, The Falcon and Winter Soldier, and pretty much any Marvel, does include sort of Earth aspects to things. I just don't think it's a good way of telling stories for Star Wars. Anyway, that's my that's my interviews. That was a 2Q2 question I asked myself for you guys. I'm here technically on a weekly basis, and things, as I've said before, may happen, like in the last couple of weeks. Technical issues, doctoral issues, even, extreme working hours, which I do. I work my normal sort of thing, and working around a movie as an extra was quite intense. But the technical computer issues is what I had in last week, which has delayed this particular episode. But anyway, you can message me on YouTube or Instagram or Twitter, whatever you like. I'm here with the Star Wars news, views, and reviews and interviews. And until next time, my friends, keep rocking.